Hey, you can't do that.
You may remember this moment from last summer. Federal agents in San Bernardino were seen shattering the window of a truck during an immigration enforcement operation. Well, today, one of the men who was in that truck went to Capitol Hill to talk about his encounter with DHS agents. NBC4's Christian Cázares covered the San Bernardino case last summer. He joins us live with some new promises made from lawmakers. Christian.
Well, Colleen, Daniel Rascon spoke out today 6 months after what he described was supposed to be a day of just running errands with his family around San Bernardino that quickly turned into chaos for several days. He says he's a U.S. citizen, and the only thing he could do at that time was record.
I still look over my shoulder, and so does the rest of my family.
23-year-old Martin Daniel Rascon among a group of U.S. citizens from across the country today who shared their encounters with Border Patrol and ICE agents with members of Congress at our nation's capital.
What do you want? What do you want? No identification.
Last summer, Rascon says he was running errands in San Bernardino with his father-in-law and brother-in-law when 3 unmarked cars surrounded them and federal agents repeatedly asked them to open the door without providing any identification.
Hey.
That's when the agents are seen shattering the glass and firing at the truck.
One of the 4 men attempted to murder us after we passed by, as he fired and made contact with the passenger side of our car multiple times. I will never forget the fear and having to quickly duck my head as the shots were fired at the car.
Days later, Rascon recalls how he says armed masked men surrounded their San Bernardino home, eventually detaining his father-in-law, Francisco Longoria. Back then in a statement, DHS saying Homeland Security investigation secured a warrant from the U.S. Attorney's Office for Francisco Longoria, a criminal illegal alien for assault on a federal officer.
Eventually, Francisco went in front of a federal judge who validated that the incident was scary to watch from the recording inside our vehicle. Despite the lies and misinformation given by the agents, the judge believed our truth, and eventually the federal charges were dismissed. However, Francisco was taken to immigration custody and held for 3 months, where he had to endure horrible conditions.
Tonight, leaders like Senator Richard Blumenthal and Representative Robert Garcia hosting the public forum as part of an ongoing inquiries into tactics used by federal immigration agents.
I promise you that every single one of us, whether it's the House or the Senate, we will hold all of those that cause you harm accountable. You all deserve justice and you deserve peace.
And today's forum was the second one, but no word of a third will be scheduled. But again, months later, Rascon says he is still living in fear. He says he keeps looking over his shoulder and says his biggest fear is that federal agents will pull him over again. Christian Cázares, NBC4 News.